Welcome to Thiru Academy. Today we are going to see about differences between application.properties file and application.yaml file in Spring Boot. Okay, see application.yaml file. What is application.yaml file? This is a external file, configuration file similar to application.properties file but with different format. In YAML file we'll use YAML language at another markup language. YAML stands for, okay, it is a markup language we will use in .yaml files. Okay, by default when we create Spring Boot application.properties file will come in resources folder. In addition, if you want to go with YAML files, you need to create. Okay. Next, uses of application.yaml file. Externalized configuration like properties, it keeps configurations separate from code, simplifying management and modification. Like properties file, this is a configuration file and separates the code. It simplifies the code, and for modification also it will be very easy. And flexibility and readability. You can define various application settings such as database details, port numbers, logging levels, app specific values, just like with properties. Whatever the values we will provide in application.properties file, those values all we can provide in YAML files also. Okay, look at this, like this we can provide. Okay, Spring Boot auto configuration. Similar to properties file, Spring Boot automatically detects and loads the application.yaml file placed in the resources folder or directory, simplifying initial setup. To simplify it, whatever the application.properties file will load automatically whenever we run the Spring Boot application. Similarly, YAML files also will read automatically by the Spring Boot. Okay. Next, integration with Spring Beans. Property values can be injected into Spring Beans using @value annotation or accessed via the Spring environment, just like with properties. To simplify this, we'll see one example at the end. Okay, whatever the values we have provided in application.properties file or application.yaml files, if you want to read those values, those property values in whatever the code wherever you required, we need to use @value annotation to read that value. Okay, I'll show you one example. Yes, come here, look at the example. @value, within double quotes we need to provide that name of that property value. See, this is the syntax. In this way we need to provide. Here we are getting server dot port value we are getting. We'll see the example at the end. Okay, then next placeholder management. It supports variable placeholders that can be dynamically resolved or similar to properties. Placeholders is nothing but dynamic values. Whatever in runtime, in application runtime, we'll get some values, right? To get that values, those are placeholder values. It supports variable placeholders. Managing profiles. Multiple sets of configurations can be defined in the same YAML file or separate ones, activated based on the environment flags or command line arguments, just like with properties. That means in application.properties, if you want to provide or separate environment based on properties, like we need to specify separate files, dev hyphen, like that we need to provide application hyphen dev dot properties, application hyphen qa dot properties, like that we need to provide here. But in YAML files we can provide in same YAML file by specifying the property. What is that property? Spring profiles active, either dev or qa, like that we can specify and It is possible to provide all the properties in same YAML file. Okay. Next, advantages of application.yaml file over .properties file: readability, conciseness, modern syntax. Okay. YAML uses the indentation and block structure, making it more readable and visually appealing than key value pairs in properties. In properties file, how we will display in the form of key value pairs. Okay, but here it is allowing block structure like this. We can provide this visual separation clarifies the hierarchy of configurations. Here, check the hierarchy. Spring.application.name. See, this is the property where it is. See, this is the property in application.properties file. Like in here, YAML file, Spring application name. Like this, we need to provide. Okay. Conciseness. YAML allows for nested structures and aliases, resulting in a more concise and organized file compared to long list of key value pairs. This can be especially helpful for complex configurations. In complex configurations, it is very helpful like this. See, if you want to provide spring.data source URL or some other dialect I didn't provided here will provide. In other complex situations, it is very helpful. No need to type again and again. Okay, it is providing one structure, right? Here one time we have typed spring. For all these properties we are using that value. Modern syntax. Many developers find YAML syntax more intuitive and modern than plain properties files. Okay, and one more thing, everything in property files considered as strings only. It won't support integers, arrays like that, but YAML will supports. Okay, things to consider: learning curve. While YAML syntax is generally considered simpler, it might require a small learning curve compared to familiar properties format. When compared to application.properties file, in everything we will provide in key value pairs. If you want to provide in YAML file, we need to learn something how we can provide that keys and values. Okay. Tooling support. Some tools and IDEs might have better support for properties files compared to YAML. Okay, let's see example now. Example how we can provide. See, in application, this is the example we already seen in previous video. Same example I have taken, same application. Okay, this is the application.properties file. This is application.yaml file. Same properties I am rewriting in YAML file. Okay, we'll see the differences, and some properties we will provide in YAML file and some in .properties file also. Whatever the execution flow also we'll see. Okay, in server.port I have provided in 8090, in application.properties in YAML 9090. See the differences also. Whenever we are running the application, what properties is loaded first and what will be loaded, what properties will be loaded lately. Okay, spring.application.name, spring.application.name I have provided. Here is spring rest. Yes, I'll provide in capital letter. Okay, here is spring rest. Camel case I have provided. Here is all are big letters only. Okay, spring dot, see, data source dot URL, spring data source URL. I have given here. Those values are same. Okay, here is username, password, profiles, active. This is the last one, right? Before that we will provide all. Okay, up to password I have provided spring.jpa.show hyphen SQL. I am giving here JPA tab space I need to provide show hyphen SQL. Here we need to provide space. True I am giving. No, false I will give you. Will observe the differences. Yes, next this one spring.jpa.hibernate.jpa already spring already provided, JPA also provided. See here, next hibernate colon, next in next line we need to provide space ddl hyphen auto colon, we need to provide update. Here it is not identifying. We need to check that value. See, it is coming like this. Sorry, yeah, yes, it is identified. And next jpa.properties dialect class I am providing. Okay, here JPA, under that and we need to provide, right? Yeah, properties colon, under that tab space hibernate dot dialect we need to provide, not here, dialect colon tab space dialect value we need to give here. See, look at this dialect value we need to provide here. Okay, then next value is profile DOW already we have provided. Yes, all details fine, right? Whatever the properties we have provided, see the differences here. Okay, see, look at these first two, port number and application name I have provided differently for both properties file. Okay, I am saving and I am running the application, restarting that. See the differences here. Application name it is taking from application.properties file, not from YAML file. Why? Because which file will load initially? Application.yaml file will load initially, then later on application.properties file will load. Then in application.properties file what we have provided? Spring REST we have provided. That's why it has taken spring REST. I'll show you next time. See, port number also observe, you need to observe. In application.properties 8090 is there, YAML file 9090 is there, it has taken 8090 only. Why? We already discussed. Okay, see, coming to Postman, we'll test. Yeah, here is the, we are getting all endpoints. See, we have only one endpoint. We are getting output, right? It's okay. Okay. Application is running and working fine, right? See, now I am removing the port number from application.properties file. Okay. And this application name also I am removing. Okay. Fine. I am restarting the application. Yes, application is started. Check the port number now. Now it has taken 9090. See, observe here also. Application name Spring REST. From YAML file only it has taken. Why? because we didn't provide it in application.properties file. Okay, these are the differences between YAML file and .properties file. Yeah, one more thing. See, in service, see, server dot port I am providing here 8090. Fine. In product service, see, at value we are reading that port value. Okay, server dot port. I have created that variable name, and by using @value I am reading that port number. Okay, and printing in here only. Okay, in sysout I have printed that server dot port only. Okay, observe. I am restarting the application. Will observe now. It will take little bit time. Yes, look at this port number. It has started with 8090 and will run the application. Yes, we are getting output, right? Yeah, we'll observe the logs. See, server port is printed right here. Check the server port 8090. We are printing, right? We are getting value from properties file by using @value, and we are printing. Okay. Yeah, this is the differences between application.properties file and application.yaml file, and the importance of YAML file we seen. If you really like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.